Well, first two worsts figure out which is worse. And then the other two worsts figure out which is worse. And then the top two worsts fight it out until eventually you get the WORSTEST Worstest.
Mic number one.
Isn't this a lot of fun? Mic number... Sorry.
It should not be funny.
Mic number 3, Papa's trick knee.
And with that, we begin Worstest Cliche. Today, lucky listener, you will be listening to our 4 experts. Expert-ish. But certainly, our hosts will be bringing to you Worst Cliche. And by the end of all this, we will find out what is the worstest cliche. Let's zip around, say hello, and tell us what we are bringing today. Pete, why don't you start this off?
Hello, everyone. This is Pete, and I actually have the worst cliché because I had a hard time getting that E with an accent on it. So
You just keep the E pressed on it. And
Yeah, but then you
Yeah.
end up with a whole bunch of E's across your page. That's not
that's
helpful.
very
it's just
true.
not
What, do you have
working.
a Nokia?
My favorite's the O with the line through it. The Scandinavian O.
okay,
E, I think it's pronounced. It's my personal favorite.
I'm not even going to bring the umlaut into this conversation. My worst cliché is to make a killing, and that's it.
All right.
There goes Pete with the killing again.
Can't stop the killing.
No.
Kill.
Scott, what about you?
Well, yes, this is Scott, and I know that Pete believes...
Hurry up before I kill you.
I know he believes that he has a worstest cliche, but mine's way worster. I'm going to run with there's a sucker born every minute. Yeah, see?
That really is true, you know. I probably will.
Yes, you will.
Tim, what do you got?
John, I think I have the best of the worst here. My cliche is everything happens for a reason.
Oh, but it does.
So true. So
Well,
true.
we'll see about that.
All right, and mine, I'm John, and I am bringing to you, it is what it is.
But what is it?
But when we'll find that out very soon. But right now,
Is it what it is?
oh, it's not. It's not in the least.
It never
was.
is. It never is.
No.
It was what it was, but now.
It's how's this? It's something. It's just not what the person saying what it is
Right.
is.
Will it be, though?
It's more of a I am what I am.
Uh-huh,
When you use it is what it is. Which I what are all these cans of spinach doing around here? Without further ado, this is the quickest we've ever dived into an episode.
My God. There's
I'd
no,
like to
no
think.
stopping us.
There really isn't. Plus
do
it's
it.
cold out. I want to get back home.
Do we need to define? That's normally how we start these things.
It is. It is, but you know
It
what?
is what it is.
It is what
What is a cliché?
a cliché. You know what is cliched? Starting your podcast off with defining what your podcast is about. This is what I learned in the $17 online podcast course I took.
Good for you.
Right? I'm
Good
trying to
for
better
you.
myself every
Exactly.
day.
One of these days, we'll make $1.
It's true.
And that's 25 cents a piece.
Yeah. I think it's safe to say a cliche is a tired, worn-out expression.
I remember reading this many, many years ago, that a cliche is a great truth that has been repeated constantly. And I think that's probably where they come from.
It was pithy at the, the first 100 times it was used. And
Yeah.
Right. Something observed, something
then it got
noticed,
pressed
something
into the cement and
spoken, and then constantly, like I said, pressed into the cement of our sweet, uncooked brains.
well, let me spill my cliche.
Go ahead, Pete.
Get clichéing.
Make a killing, pal.
All right, well, here we go.
Find that accent.
I am going to talk to you fine folks about the cliche of to make a killing, i.e. to earn a lot of money in a short time and with little effort. So I'll start off here with a couple of potential origin theories on this fine cliche. One comes from gambling and early financial ventures. One prominent theory suggests that make a killing originated in the world of gambling. In the early days of horse racing and other betting activities, a gambler who won a significant amount of money quickly and with little effort was said to have made a killing. This usage likely stems from the notion of a hunter killing a large game animal, thus securing a substantial reward with a single decisive action. I don't know. I have a hard time believing that, but here we go. Moving on, historical usage in hunting. The phrase also has historical ties to hunting, particularly in the context of American bison hunters. In the 19th century, hunters who successfully killed a large number of buffalo in a short period were described as having made a killing. This literal sense of the phrase highlights the idea of gaining a significant bounty through a successful hunt. All right, I guess I could see that. Financial markets and investments, another potential origin. Another significant context for the phrase is in the financial markets. During the late 19th and early 20th centuries, the expression make a killing was used to describe rapid and substantial profits made in stock trading and other investments. The phrase became synonymous with achieving a large profit from a single advantageous financial move akin to the success of a hunter or gambler. I mean, if you ask me, I guess some of these have a little something to their argument, but here's the thing. Making a great deal of money is a serious issue, and to make a killing, i.e., a watered-down version of killing someone, wait, could it be a reference to killing a fly or a roach?
I don't know.
I seriously doubt that. Killing someone is also a serious issue, I would say. To associate making a lot of money with killing someone is a pretty serious analogy to make, especially given that the origin of this cliche is very unclear. Some of you guys may have heard the origin theories and been, ooh, yes, bison hunters, that must have been it.
I would have never thought bison.
No, I thought it was over after the third sentence. I thought it was just only about bison. It probably comes from my habit of wearing large ceremonial animal furs wherever I go.
Well, this may be an unpopular comment, but I really wish I had a bison burger right now. They are so tasty.
Very good. And low in fat naturally.
Yes, thank you, John.
That's why you have to use some of the hump meat to give it a little more flavor.
So, Scott, you're saying you'd like to make a killing? Is that what you're saying?
As long as I
Right?
got to eat the hump meat, as John was, right, the succulent hump meat.
Oh, yeah.
Nah,
It's all about the hump meat, doesn't
there's
it?
nothing like good hump meat.
Brought to you by Bison Farmers of America.
Don't forget the hump meat.
Oh, boy.
Is that where Hump Day came from?
It is. You can,
Every Wednesday on the Great Plains.
because of bison being hunted so much that the rule was that you could only hunt bison on Wednesday. So that's why we have hump day, because
Okay.
everyone was like, where's my hump? Where's the hump meat? And where's the hump meat? Well, you can get your hump meat on Wednesday. As things do, it gets crushed down to just like Wednesday is hump day. Hump meat day.
Everybody look forward to Friday because that's when you'd finally cook up the bison. And everybody would be like, Happy Friday because it's Bison Day.
And then the
everybody
Pope
hated
ruled all-
Mondays because all the bison's gone. And what are you doing? Sitting around, I don't know,
Waiting for Wednesday.
waiting for Wednesday, of course.
You were saying?
Well, I was just going to say, and, Senior Pope had to come in and ruin that because we couldn't eat meat on Fridays.
Because they don't have bison over there. They have buffalo in Italy.
So then it's okay?
Yes.
So why do the Italians call that cheese like,
Bufala?
yeah.
I think the original-
Buffalo mozzarella.
Buffalo milk.
Mozzarella.
Yes. There's buffalo over there.
No, for real. It's from buffalo milk.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that wild? There actually is.
Yeah.
Summon a bitch. I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
That's what we call what we have here buffalo, but I'm 99% sure of this. We have bison.
Correct.
They have buffalo.
I
There we
hate
go.
I hate to interrupt you guys.
Oh, I'm sorry. Were you,
But,
were you
know,
presenting
I'm just,
something?
I'm just
I'm
saying.
very
if I-
sorry.
Listen, that is a really solid point there. The feeling I get about the current meaning of this cliche is that it is okay to think about killing someone as long as there is a great deal of money being made in the process. Now, more than ever, I believe that the idea of making a lot of money has become such sacred territory in America nowadays that literally anything is on the table in the context of justifying the money. For anyone who has watched a few episodes of Shark Tank, you know that the notion of making a lot of money is something that is a rarity in the life of normal Americans and something to think long and hard about. For many, almost regardless of what it takes to get there. There is this notion that finding that magic trick, invention, way of doing business, etc., that allows you to make a ton of money is something to always strive for, even if that striving is not entirely conscious. I think that we all do it to one extent or another. For example, who amongst us has never played the lottery, hoping for that multi-million-dollar payout?
Oh boy, don't I know it?
I played once. Probably also thinking about what we do with all that money.
That's the fun part.
Yeah.
I thought about it once or twice.
I feel like Pete and I were researching at the same time.
I know what I would do.
One of my favorite.
Mozzarella. Oh yeah, lots of mozzarella.
Do you remember those old Deep Thoughts by Jack Handy?
Right, right,
One of my all-time favorite ones was, it's easy to just sit there and want lots of money. And that's what I like about it. It's easy. Just sitting there, rocking back and forth, wanting that money.
I wholeheartedly agree with Jack.
Anyway, it becomes a real problem when that dream becomes so overpowering that the thought of attaining it gets equated with worse and worse things to offset it. Where do you draw the line about how far you would go to get all that money? Would you lie?
Sure.
Maybe only to people that you don't know.
Oh no.
Would you commit fraud?
Yeah.
Maybe just a little white-collar crime that doesn't really harm anyone directly.
That's the best collar crime.
Plus, with all the money, if your white collar gets dirty, you just buy another collar.
Tide stick.
None of this blue-collar crime where you hold somebody up with a shotgun.
True. Or steal supplies from building sites.
That
Don't
sounds-
ask me how I know that.
Pete, that sounds dangerous.
Anyone want to buy some rivets?
Or some mozzarella.
Oh, that's going to fall off the truck soon, too.
Okay, all right. So would you steal?
Yes.
Would you kill someone?
Who?
Bum, bum, bum.
How's this? The list I wouldn't kill is certainly much
Shorter.
Way shorter. I'm
Oh, boy.
Then there are the stories that you read where people actually have killed others in order to get some monetary reward, which is a little bit sad. Actually, there are
Well, how much
many-
money was it?
And who were they?
Well, here's what I'm going to say about it. There are many, many, many stories about people who have killed their spouses, friends, relatives, acquaintances in order to gain payout of an estate, of an insurance payout, etc. However, me, now being known as the killing guy here in
Really?
these parts,
Worstest podcast.
I'm
land.
not going to delve into all these stories, but there are plenty of them. And I did see there's a lot, a lot of people killing other people for a quick payout. So the question is, if you manage to acquire a great deal of money quickly, have you killed it? Maybe there is the idea that if you have acquired a great deal of money, that you need to have some sort of really powerful saying associated with it. Maybe it's not quite the same to say, he worked really hard and knew the right people and had some good luck to get where he is, and we really need some sort of extravagant idiom to summarize this turn of events. And as such, maybe we just go to the worst notion of all, killing someone as the idea of that idiom. In summary, I suggest that the notion of associating making a killing, i.e., the lexicologically watered-down version of killing someone, with the notion of earning a lot of money in a short time and with little effort, is a terrible association to make, and as such, makes to make a killing the worstest.
Well, very good, very good.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate all your applause and
It was quite despicable.
all the love you've thrown me.
All right, well done, Pete. Scott, you're up.
I'm up.
You are, I don't know, give me a baseball cliche. What, do we have a cliche for that?
Baseball? They have no cliches in baseball.
Oh my God, there's so many.
Hitting second in the order.
You're hitting second
Yeah.
in the order?
It
Is
ain't
that-
over till it's over.
Tonight's not over till it's over. My favorite baseball cliche that I used to say to people to make people think that I knew what I was talking about when I was talking about baseball. If someone was talking about stats, I'd always say, the numbers don't tell the whole story. And Scott's going to now show us what he knows about his worst cliche.
Here we go. So, Pete, I was just thinking after hearing your presentation, perhaps it's good that we were matched up in this round because we've mined some similar themes here. So let me just get started. I stated that I would be presenting this. There's a sucker born every minute. I'm eager to show that this cliche is the worstest because it is incredibly inaccurate and it points out something rather damning about our human condition that I don't think we need to be advertising. In order to get started, we should probably start with this. What is a sucker? Definitions that I found were as follows. A gullible or easily deceived person, a person easily cheated, a person irresistibly attracted by something specified. Now, I don't know about you guys. Well, let me ask. When you think of that quote, okay, that cliche, who's the person that comes to mind that is typically thought of as having said this?
Simon?
Will Rogers? Usually it's Will Rogers, right?
No.
No, actually.
Oh, isn't it P.T. Barnum?
P.T.
Well,
Barnum.
that, yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
P.T. Barnum, right. Yeah.
I mean, so I always thought that this quote came from P.T. Barnum. Yes, that Barnum, Phineas Taylor Barnum. He was an American showman, businessman, and politician who is remembered for promoting celebrated hoaxes and who helped found the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus in 1919 with a guy named James Anthony Bailey. Barnum and Bailey's Greatest Show on Earth eventually merged with the competing Ringling Brothers' World's Greatest Show, as both circuses existed before this merger. So Barnum was also recognized as an author, publisher, and philanthropist. That kind of surprised me. Although he did say this of himself, I am a showman by profession, and all the gilding shall make nothing else of me. I like that.
I think he's a philanthropist in the way that he would give like $1,000 to like a furry-faced boy to come live with him for the next 20 years on the road to show him off for nickels a person.
You think it was that much?
No and more. Not as much as $1,000 and certainly charge more than a nickel to see Jojo the dog-faced boy.
Now that I would believe.
Don't forget, he offered, $25,000 for proof of Champ's existence.
That's right.
Oh,
That's
right.
right.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that. Yeah.
Never got it.
No. All right, so here we go. The adage, there's a sucker born every minute, has frequently been attributed to him, to Barnum. And with good reason, because Barnum really liked other people's money and because his career as a showman was marked by a variety of sensational publicity stunts, hoaxes, and plain old false advertising, which he used to attract visitors to his bizarre exhibits. Try this one on. Joyce Heth, an elderly black woman whom a young Barnum put on display in 1835, claiming that she was, listen up, the 161-year-old former nurse of George Washington. Oh my gosh.
Here's the thing, like all this stuff, like there used to be, people who would watch people walk. Like someone would walk from like LA to New York and people would line up on the roads, hundreds, thousands of people to see the walking guy. Like, do you just walk into a booth and see this woman with a sign saying I was the 163-year-old nurse to George Washington and you just see her and you walk past and that's a thing to do on a Saturday night?
Yes.
Before TV and movies.
Yeah.
That was it.
There was no Netflix.
Yeah.
Continue. I'm very excited.
So, when the public's interest in Joyce faded, Barnum...
How could that happen? I don't understand.
She's just sitting there, Pete. Barnum decided to change the story by then spreading a rumor that Joyce was actually not a person at all, but instead a mechanical automaton.
Wait, the automaton took care of George Washington as a baby?
I guess that's why she was able to stick around for so long. Just got to oil those joints.
Oh, there you go.
He's yes-ending beautifully.
Yes. So people would then revisit the exhibit and, of course, pay a fee to determine for themselves whether she was an automaton or a real person.
Are you trying to make the point that a sucker board every minute isn't true?
Well, let me get there.
Keep
Let me
going.
get
I'm
there.
sorry.
Let me get there. Barnum displayed, this truly is my favorite part of this story. Barnum displayed Joyce Heth until February 19th, 1836, which was the day she died. Now, there is no evidence.
The exhibit's over. Everybody out.
No, then what did he call her then?
Yeah, right.
It's a Fiji mermaid. Look at her.
Hey, don't go to my second round stuff.
Oh, shoot, sorry.
It's okay.
Love the Fiji mermaid.
So,
So beautiful.
no evidence exists that Barnum coined this phrase. It appears that another con man came up with it instead. This is what I found regarding this. A Rochester Institute of Technology professor named Nicholas DeFonso wrote a 2008 book called The Water Cooler Effect. In it, he stated that the existing biographies didn't verify this attribution to PT. This quote likely came from a banker, a guy named David Hannum, who was from Syracuse, New York.
Barnum's been robbed.
So the story first starts with this. A cigar manufacturer named George Hull, who sculpted a giant figure from a 10-foot long block of gypsum. Hull buried it in Cardiff, New York. Then he claimed to discover it and put it on display, charging admission, of course.
The Cardiff Giant.
Yes.
I know all about it.
Crowds journeyed from all over the good state of New York to see the petrified American Goliath. Hull's hoax was hugely successful. Most people who were fascinated by the giant were convinced that it was a petrified man or a statue made by Jesuit fathers over 3 centuries prior. Hull, in crafting this thing, went to great lengths to make the statue look realistic. As the story goes, this banker, the David Hannum I referenced before, he purchased the Cardiff Giant in 1869 and displayed it for even higher admission fees. This caught the eye of Barnum, who tried and failed to convince Hannum to sell it to him. This motivated Barnum to create his own version, a simple replica, and claim it to be the one true giant, asserting that Hannum's was the hoax.
I love it.
It was said at this point that Hannum proclaimed, there's a sucker born every minute, referring to the gullible customers of Barnum's more successful exhibit. So the quote was related to Hannum's dealing with Barnum, but not said by Barnum himself.
Inspired by Barnum.
Yes.
But I love he's mocking the people who are seeing the fake giant the fake giant copy of his fake giant.
That's right.
Brilliant.
Only because he didn't think of it first.
Absolutely beautiful.
These were customers, John, that he didn't get a chance to bilk first.
Yes.
Yeah.
You might see where I'm going.
There is something beautiful about the fact that no matter what boulder dash you throw out, because the United States is such a new country, that any talk about something that could be from somewhere else could be here, right, is just, it's like cocaine. It's like a drug to Americans. That's why we have Mormonism. No, Jesus wasn't in the Fertile Crescent or wherever the heck he's supposed to be. No, he was in Minnehaha. He ran a Stuckey's in 1947. That was Jesus, you know. And he's got magic gold tiles that's going to tell me a story that I'll then repeat to you incorrectly every time. America.
I want to hear more of this story.
Number one. Yeehaw!
Do you, Tim?
Yes, John. Yes. Can I subscribe to your newsletter?
You may, for a small amount of money.
It's worth it. Just name it.
Plus, you have to come see my Cardiff Giant.
Okay.
Ooh. May I see the giant?
$50.
I have to pay more.
So, look, lots of people get fooled by scams. Human beings of all shapes and sizes and intellects are motivated by many things. Money, love, power, sometimes fear, and other things. And our heightened focus on having these things in our lives, it represents a glitch within us. It makes our species susceptible to being fooled by scams, cons, schemes. At least that's what my Nigerian prince friend tells me. And here's one such example. You fellas remember Bernie Madoff? Yeah, exactly.
I got a good Madoff story, but please, go on.
I hope you'll share it. He ran a Ponzi scheme. The core mechanism of Madoff's scheme was actually quite simple. Madoff claimed to use a complex trading strategy that generated consistently high and stable returns even during market turndowns. That was fake. Madoff did not invest his clients' money at all. He simply deposited the funds into a single bank account at Chase Manhattan Bank.
He invested in himself.
Madoff and his associates created a massive amount of false trading records and fabricated account statements to deceive auditors and investors into believing their money was being legitimately traded. Fake returns and fake records. If investors requested withdrawals, he paid them with money from new clients, giving the illusion of a successful and legitimate operation. Fake. Madoff was a former chairman of the NASDAQ Stock Exchange, which lent him sort of an aura of credibility and trustworthiness. He targeted a wealthy and exclusive clientele. These were not dodos, often through word-of-mouth referrals, making people feel fortunate to be allowed to invest with him.
I'm sorry, Scott, do you have the definition of dodo?
Among his victims were celebrities like Kevin Bacon, his wife Kira Sedgwick, Steven Spielberg, John Malkovich, Zsa Zsa Gabor fell
No,
victim.
not Zsa Zsa.
Yes,
Of course, she invested in sweaters, I think, wasn't
But
it?
she was brilliant.
tight sweaters, I remember. The celebrities were real, and so was their financial pain. Let me continue. You guys ever heard of a dude named George C. Parker?
Don't think so.
So you might not know his name, but you know his con game. Parker was notorious for attempting to sell New York buildings and landmarks like the Brooklyn Bridge. This particular grift likely began in the 1880s. Parker would scout out marks. I love that. He'd scout out marks who'd recently come to New York City, like immigrants, and convince them he owned the Brooklyn Bridge. Then he'd sell it to these eager investors, sometimes for as much as $50K. He charmed his victims into thinking they would easily profit by charging people to access the bridge. So they tried to set up toll booths on the roadway. Police would eventually show up to shut down their attempts to control the road, and those dreams of getting rich off of drivers were dashed.
But I own it. Here's this piece of paper.
What do you mean, officer? I'm just trying to collect the money.
Sir, that's a Bazooka Joe cartoon.
You want to see time fly? I own the Brooklyn Bridge.
I'm sorry to anybody who may have a relative that fell victim to this. I laughed out loud. Police had to show up and hang on.
And it didn't happen only once, right? It happened a lot of times.
Processors at Ellis Island actually had to start handing out to new arrivals cards warning them you cannot buy public buildings or streets.
Unfortunately, it was written in English, so nobody knew what the hell it said.
Well, here's the good news. This a-hole's crimes got him a life sentence at Sing Sing prison, where he died. But he made nice coin with this nasty con of impressionable newcomers. Pete, I'm sorry to tread in similar waters. I am also now going to bring up lotteries. Lottery sales in the U.S. have been steadily increasing over the past decade, with hundreds of millions of people trying their luck each year to win big. According to recent lottery statistics I found posted by CBS News, Americans spent around $103 billion with a B, $103 billion on lottery tickets in 2023. So that means that year Americans spent an average of $320 on lottery tickets, up about 4% from 2022. Lottery sales in the U.S. have been increasing over the past 10 years, with millions of people participating every year, and it doesn't look at all like it will slow down anytime soon. The U.S. online lottery market is booming, hitting an estimated value of $2.3 billion, once again fueled by dreams of hitting that jackpot. This fact remains: the odds of winning a massive Powerball or Mega Millions jackpot is approximately 1 in 292.2 million, according to Harvard statistician Mark Glickman. The odds of winning just $1 million is much better, and you'd find those odds at approximately 1 in 11.7 million. But people do try, don't they?
Well, not if you buy 50 tickets at once.
Oh, yes.
That's right.
Then your odds have gone up 50 to 11.7 million. Much more increased.
I remember reading a couple had gotten married, and they were gifted, for all the people who came to their wedding, they were gifted about $20,000, and their idea was, we're going to spend it on lottery tickets.
Oh, God.
And they spent their nest egg or their gifts. All these people who gave their money to, help them make a future for themselves, to, build something of their lives, and they literally spent it all on lottery tickets, and they made some money. And then, it went a couple
Reinvested
cycles.
it.
Yes, that is with the biggest fucking quotes in the entire world. Reinvested it into the lottery. And after about 4 or 5 cycles of that reinvestment, just like Madoff, they were left with nothing except some kindling for a delightful romantic fire.
The big nil.
I love a story with kindling. Oh, but
To burn up their dreams.
So I've been talking a bit about the sucker part of things, if you will, but not the birth part. So let me address that quickly. Please note that these stats came from the Center for Disease Control, also from the year 2023. So perhaps they're considered trustworthy. It shows that in 2023, the total births in the U.S. were about 3.59 million for that year. That's a total.
One of those kids are going to get the lottery.
well,
I'm sorry. Did I just fucking screw the pooch on you?
No.
Queer the deal?
So again, 2023.
Using my cliches.
In 2023, the total births in the U.S. were approximately 3.59 million. So that's a total of 9,836 U.S. births per day. That would whittle down to about 6.5 to 7 U.S. births per minute.
How many suckers?
I'm getting there. There are 24 hours in a day, 60 minutes per hour. So if there's only one sucker born per minute, that leaves us with an additional 1,440 U.S. suckers per year. That number is real, but it does seem off. Way off considering the information I've presented. This cliche, there's a sucker born every minute, seems as full of shit as Bernie Madoff's investments. So let me summarize. Why is this cliche the worstest? There were so many, like you, Pete, there were so many other circumstances I could have talked about. And honestly, I would have left no time in this podcast for any of my co-hosts. For example, like a William Chandler, a serial counterfeiter and confidence trickster proven guilty by a Sir Isaac Newton. Or what about Sam Bankman-Fried, founder of a cryptocurrency exchange who stole his clients' funds? I mean, there are suckers everywhere. I mean, should I be questioning if I'm a sucker? Please don't answer just yet. 2 of you will let me know soon enough when you issue your decision about whether I get to move on to the next round. Your decision will either lift me up or condemn me to the cliche junk heap of time immemorial. I leave you with this. I think most of us hear the term suckers and we automatically think of a fool, some poor sap that is not all that bright, constantly making these ill-advised decisions repeatedly. Somebody who can't get out of their own way. Sure, that person's a sucker. But the condition known as suckeritis does not only afflict the gullible. We've all got it. There's no cure or remedy. Why? Because the contagion that causes it is hope. It's belief. Belief in money, love, friendships, a better job, better health, a better life. On some level, we all want this, and that makes us willing to expose ourselves to suckeritis. The immune system will not help you here. A sucker is born every minute? I agree, but these stats clearly way undershoot the mark. It's much closer to a sucker is born every second, and that's what makes this the worstest cliche. See you in the second round, everybody.
Wow.
Wow.
Such enthusiasm at the end there.
Yes.
I can't say no to that. Well, Tim, you and I have a...
It is a terrible cliche, but if I
Yeah.
may say, the second worst cliche I've heard.
All right.
I think I made a killing with that presentation, actually.
Absolutely.
So what are your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts are, when I read that Scott was doing "There's a sucker born every minute," I thought, oh yeah, I hate that cliche. And the reason I hate it is because it's so cynical. It's almost like the person is justifying conning people. You know, it's very similar to the "a fool and his money will soon part." It's almost taking a little bit of Schadenfreude and taking advantage of people. And I've always hated that. You know, it's almost like it's a rationalization. Well, you know, I'll cheat you because you're a sucker. You deserve it. So it's a loathsome expression. I really fucking hate it.
That's an interesting take. I also liked Scott's humanistic look at it, and you know, I think, were you trying to say? So I was kind of losing myself in your sweet poetry at the end and your passion.
No poems today.
Just the lyrical
Thank
poetry of it. It was very nice.
Might I add, you're quite handsome.
Well, yes, you may.
Gotta butter up those co-hosts.
That's very true. And it is almost Thanksgiving. Butter me up like a delicious crispy turkey. No, I was going to say, were you trying to say that the sucker born every minute is a bad cliche because of hope we are all suckers?
I did try to make that clear towards the end, and I might have an opportunity to chime in a little bit about what Tim added a moment ago, if I'm lucky enough to move on.
All right. And then Pete's, yes, making a killing.
Yeah, we're definitely obsessed with death and murder in the United States, and it's not surprising that it coincides with making money. Never thought about that.
It's very good.
Yeah, that is definitely an interesting parallel. You got to wonder on, I think what Pete was suggesting, on some unconscious level. You know, we think to make a lot of money, there's some kind of killing involved, or death of something, whether it's an animal or
butchery has to happen in order for that to lead to success almost.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think anyone's thinking of that when they say it. It's just one of those expressions. But when you get behind the expression, it's pretty dark.
It's very dark.
No one's ever made $1 billion with a UNICEF box.
No.
Right.
Except the head of UNICEF, who literally built that charity out of everything. That's why you don't really see it very much anymore. They lost all their credibility because the guy was literally stealing 1 penny at a time from UNICEF.
Well, there's the famous expression,
Bravo.
behind every great fortune, there's a great crime, said by the legendary French writer Honoré de Balzac.
Wow. That was so profound, I couldn't even giggle at his name.
I can't believe the restraint you all showed when I said his name.
Because we're beyond that, man. This is Worstest. This is an intellectual podcast.
Tim, you can't see me, but I'm scratching my de Balzac right now.
Yay, good, we're back. I was terrified. So Pete's gnarly, deadly, horrifying, a scathing indictment against what we hold dear in America. And Scott, also a scathing indictment of what we hold dear in America.
Yeah. Tough call.
Yeah.
We fist bumped.
I was just listening to Worst Sports Franchise, and in the same way that everybody wanted to see the New York versus New York thing and kicked me out, I kind of want to hear the rest of Scott's thing.
Yeah, me too. I'm curious.
I am.
I don't have anything else.
Do you?
What, are you kidding? Oh, fine. Our fine Patreon subscribers will know.
That is true. That is true. So subscribe to Patreon to find out what Pete was going to say. Also, for more delicious cheese recipes. So are we in agreement?
I think we're in agreement.
We're in fantastic agreement.
Scott will advance.
First round winner is there's a sucker born every minute. No irony implied whatsoever. And there we go. Well done.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you
Scott.
very much.
Very, very, very welcome. And with that...
And Pete, thank you.
You're welcome.
It seems Scott's made a killing this round at Worstest. All right. Let us dive into the beautiful music. Scott's making beautiful violin motions right now. I'm sure he has a Stradivarius in his lunchbox he's going to sell me for only $1 million. And that's that. As P.T. Barnum once said, we'll be right back. I'm sure he must have said that at some point. Yeah.
He was talking about his customers.
Well, here we go in the second round, and may I say that all's fair in love and war, Tim.
Yes, John, so they say. They also say everything in moderation.
You know what, Tim?
Yes, John?
I believe that everything should be in moderation, except moderation.
Oh, very good, sir.
How droll.
Very good. More sherry, John.
Oh, I would love just a tiffle. Just a tiffle.
We're only just getting started out there, folks.
Is the fireplace brighter tonight, Tim?
I think it is, John, and it's your spirit and cheeriness making it so.
My goodness. It's also that $3 million I threw on the fire. It was getting old. There was a mustiness to the middle ones I couldn't stomach. And with that, let us dive right into the second half, or the second round, which is me and Tim. Tim will go first with...
Everything happens for a reason.
It's so true.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
You know, I knitted 7 kitchen trivets that said that.
Yeah? What?
It brings me peace.
That's good.
It brings
That's
me
good.
peace.
Well, I'm glad they do. And look, everyone needs to find peace. They need to find justification for why terrible things happen.
True.
And I think it's hard for us as human beings to accept chaos, to accept randomness.
For sure.
And unfortunately, that lack of acceptance can lead to some pretty stupid expressions and emotionally tone-deaf responses. And that's where my cliche comes in. Everything happens for a reason. So, you've certainly, all of us at one point, have heard some, no doubt well-meaning, no doubt kind-hearted yo-yo who likes to throw this little chestnut out there when times are bad for someone else, mind you. They probably don't realize how obnoxious they sound. So we're going to put aside for a moment the fact that it is quite possibly a factually inaccurate statement. There is actually a lot of evidence to indicate that the universe is quite random, and therefore there may be no particular reason at all why things happen. In other words, bad things happen to good people, good things can happen to bad people, and, well, the reverse is true as well.
You stop that. Stop messing up with my world order.
Yeah, I know. So, to tell someone who is enduring severe pain and suffering that everything happens for a reason is just beyond stupid. It's just catastrophically, cold and callous. Because again, if you take that to its logical conclusion, then technically anything happens for a reason, no matter how horrible it may be. And I won't go into historical examples, but use your imagination. Imagine telling someone who has survived a genocide that, well, you lost your whole family, but hey, everything happens for a reason. I mean, it's asinine. Okay, so I'm basically going to end with a story. And it goes...
I like stories.
Oh, I'm glad you do. I think you'll like this one. This I heard on NPR many years ago, and I don't remember the man's name, but I just remember the essence of the story. It was a gentleman who had been stabbed due to a gang initiation, and he very nearly died. It was completely random. He was just a regular guy going about his life, and he was stabbed.
He was not in the gang.
No, not at all. He was just a random
He was
passerby.
part of the initiation
Part of the
ritual.
initiation, exactly. It was a gang initiation. So he did survive, but he suffered severe PTSD from this trauma. He started drinking heavily. He had trouble holding down a job. He would suffer from debilitating panic attacks, suicidal thoughts. He would break down crying. It was just a terrible story. Fortunately, he was able to get the help he needed, and now he tells his story on the lecture circuit, trying to help other victims of random violence deal with their pain. So I think it's absolutely admirable that how he has turned his pain into helping others. And just on a sidebar, when I've heard this happen to people sometimes ask them, if you could change what happened to you, would you change it? And you'd be amazed how many people aren't really sure how to answer that. I don't know how he would answer. I don't remember if they asked him that. But I remember hearing a story how a guy who was in a car accident and wound up in a wheelchair, he started playing this wheelchair game called Murder Ball. Yeah, it's a really popular game. And I remember when they asked him in the interview, if you can go back in time and make sure that accident never happened, would you do it? And I remember there was this long pause, and he goes, I really don't know how to answer that because I'm a different person for what happened. Like my pain and my trauma has made me what I am today. I don't know if I'd want to go back and live my life without it. It doesn't mean he wouldn't want to walk. If you could snap your fingers, he'd get out of that chair, he would. But would he undo all the trauma. So it's an interesting thought. Now, this gentleman, I don't know. I can't speak for him. I would doubt that he'd want to go through this again. Yeah, I mean, it's great he's helping others, but who in the world wouldn't want to undo that? However, what I do know is his opinion on the expression, everything happens for a reason. And he said very clearly in the interview, every time some well-meaning fool would tell him this, and it happened more than once,
Jeez.
he had an overwhelming desire to slap them in the face as hard as he could, and then ask them, so why do you think that happened? Thank you.
Well, before anyone else goes, I just want to compliment Tim because of all the things you could have picked to make that point. I'm glad it was just a singular person that was impacted by it.
Right.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Nicely
Nice
done.
job. Nice job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
beautifully done. Here's my serving up of Worstest Cliche. It is what it is.
Okay, so what is it?
I'm telling you, Abbott, it is what it is.
What is
Yeah,
what
but
it
what
is?
is it?
Yeah, I mean,
Who's in center field?
it is what it is. Which actually, this perfectly encapsulates what it is, and how crappy it is. Let me ask you this. If the man goes over and says it is what it is to the guy hitting the bat, does he...
Not for nothing. That's another expression. Not for nothing. That is one of the most brilliant, comedic bits ever
Perfection.
out there. It really is.
Perfection.
One of my great joys as a parent was taking my son. I think he was 6 or 7 at the time. We had never watched an Abbott and Costello movie, and we went to Cooperstown.
Yeah.
And we're in the Hall of Fame, and I forgot that they had
had that on a loop.
It's perpetual.
Yeah.
And we stumble upon it, and my eyes went bright, and I called him over, and he immediately started laughing. I'm like, oh, yes,
Yeah,
you are my son.
It's eternal, that skit. As long as there's language, there'll be that bit.
It's not good? The worstest cliche, it is what it is. My house burned down, and I don't have insurance. Well, it is what it is. Of course I got hit with late penalties on that new Sephora credit card I took out. Ugh, it is what it is. I spent the last 3 days in the hospital. I tried to make my own fugu sushi. It is what it is.
Blowfish.
Honey, we waited to have sex until marriage, and I just found out you have a 2-inch penis.
It is what it is.
And it ain't what it ain't.
And that happened for a reason. Here's the thing, that we hear the phrase, it is what it is, more and more lately. It is a vague whiff of Eastern mysticism to it, an acceptance, a lack of judgment, an acceptance of things that are out of our mortal control. But where does it come from? Did it just appear out of nowhere? Well, no. Just like the weird neighbor no one spends more than 3 minutes talking to at block parties when he starts ranting about Obama's birth certificates, you're probably asking, where did it actually come from? Well, like everything else in our universe, it was conceived, gestated, and finally made its way into society at large from very simple and unexpected beginnings. According to the New York Times, the phrase, it is what it is,
The Garden of Eden?
a few years later, in 1949,
I see.
an article by J.E. Lawrence in the Nebraska State Journal. Lawrence used the phrase when describing the difficulty faced during frontier-era life in Nebraska. He says, it's beautifully written, "New land is harsh and vigorous and sturdy. It scorns evidence of weakness. There is nothing of sham or hypocrisy in it. It is what it is, without apology."
That is beautiful.
That's great,
Cool,
right?
right? Yeah, that's cool.
And although he used it in 1949, it does feel older than that. There's a whiff of Buddhism about it. The first 2 of the 4 noble truths of Buddhism certainly echo what J.E. Lawrence was writing about when describing the harsh Nebraska wilderness. The first, the truth of suffering. Number 2, the truth of the cause of suffering. The last two of those truths give us a resolution, a deliverance from those certain truths. The truth of the end of suffering, which is liberation, nirvana, and the truth of the path to the end of suffering, the eightfold path, which I will not go into.
The end of suffering.
Well, the truth of the path to the end of suffering.
Okay.
Is that when you finish your argument?
So looking at the Four Noble Truths gives us a glimpse into where it is what it is might have started and sounds familiar, but we uncover an even deeper connection when we look at the tenets of Vipassana meditation, the meditative practice that is birthed from the Buddha's teachings. In Vipassana meditation, the focus is on, among many things, non-judgmental observation, observing sensations, thoughts, and emotions as they are, without reacting to them with craving or aversion, without wanting them to go away. Now, the practice also aims to provide insight into the true nature of reality, such as the impermanence of all things, which can lead to greater peace. It can lead to greater understandings and ultimately compassion for yourself and for others. Now, this all sounds like it is what it is, wraps up these heady concepts in one easily digestible and accessible 5-word mantra, delivering a 21st century that baby Jesus would describe as peace-alicious. So then,
He did talk that way, didn't he?
I loved it.
To the extreme.
It's a fact that King James couldn't copyright peace-alicious, and that's why it was dropped out of his version of the Bible.
Well, makes sense.
It's true. The moneylenders had made T-shirts of it earlier on. We'll talk about that when we get to worstest story left out of the Bible.
Okay, that makes
Mine
sense.
will be peace-alicious. But getting back to it is what it is. Why hasn't it is what it is been the trumpet call for insight and higher understanding of our world, our neighbors, and ultimately ourselves? Since the turn of the 21st century, it shows up everywhere, like pajamas at an airport.
Oh, boy.
In 2004, even President George W. Bush, when told his opponent John Kerry was leading the polls, he responded with, "It is what it is." There are thousands, if not millions, of instances on Twitter of its uses, not only in politics, but constantly in sports. And it's impossible not to see a debate on social media that doesn't end with a clipped and detached, "It is what it is," dribbling out of your smartphone like it had a shoddy prostate.
Now there's an image for you.
Now, when you say sports, do you mean sports ball?
I don't use that term anymore, Pete. I've been to college. Sports college.
He went to re-education camp.
Nice, John. You've come a long way. I'm proud of you.
I know you are. I do this for you, Tim. But that's the problem with it is what it is. It acknowledges what the Buddha teaches us, what the starting points of meditation are. It acknowledges how J.E. Lawrence tried to describe the stately and proud Nebraskan land and the almost impossible work of trying to survive on it and off of it. It acknowledges the truth of suffering and the truth of the cause of suffering. And then it stops, turning with a shrug of its shoulders to go to the refrigerator for some more Hot Pockets. It's not used as a stepping stone to enlightenment or even a trumpet call to begin a plan to work around the problems that are facing you, like the Nebraskan homesteaders did. No, all it does is slough off responsibility, give a feeble shrug of the shoulders, and then returns to whatever douchebaggery it was up to before you asked if the two of you could have a conversation. It's used to shut down conversations about serious issues or to express hopelessness in situations where change might be possible. It is simple, requiring no work. You're faced with some difficulties? It is what it is. You need to deal with the ramifications of some piss-poor decision-making on your part? No, you don't. Just, it is what it is in a way. You've heard people you profess to love, and now they want you to acknowledge it and make amends. Nah. It is what it is. It is what it is the gym membership that never gets used. It's the motivational planner that only has January filled out. It's the dance lessons you asked for as a Christmas present that you never signed up for. It's the $10 Uber Eats meal that with delivery, tax, and mandatory gratuity comes to $48. It's easy. Requires no effort. But in the long run, it is what it is so very costly. The world is sliding down a self-absorbed, entitled, ever-increasingly ignorant and infantile sewer pipe, which can only end, not with a bang, but with the whimper of the entire population of Earth whining, "Gimme, gimme, gimme," until we self-destruct like a balloon filled to the bursting point with hot soup and pudding.
Tell us how you really feel.
That's up there with my
Tell us what you really feel is actually one of the worst.
dishonorable mentions I have.
Yes. But you know, Scott, all of the problems with the world, our eventual demise at our 7 deadly sins, it's no big deal. It is what it is.
I feel so much better. Thank you. Thank you. I feel so relieved.
I would vote for John. Man.
And that is what it is.
Indeed.
And there you go.
That
is
sure was what it was.
Wow.
So, Pete, I couldn't help while listening to our other two co-hosts go. We were interestingly paired up. We had similar themes going on between our presentations, as did Tim and John.
I noticed that very much.
Yeah,
so. Yeah, it was
that's
really cool.
wild.
And we didn't know.
That's
what
right,
we were
listening
gonna be
audience.
bringing.
We knew that the cliches, but certainly not the approaches.
Not the context, or the contents.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
yeah, it really was.
Incredible. Wow.
Both of the pairs of both of us, both of our feet were playing with each other under the table.
Metaphorically.
Metaphorically.
Metaphorically,
Yes.
if you ask me.
I mean, I don't know about you, but those were two very powerful presentations, and I am very much on the fence. Do you have a particular leaning at this moment?
Well, I feel. How do I feel?
Well,
First
that
of
is the
all,
question I asked.
I feel like you got a break.
Oh,
We don't even go there.
Oh boy, here we go.
So I say, in context of the way our co-hosts presented themselves, yeah, they were neck and neck. I gotta say, I feel the "is what it is" as the worst cliche. I feel maybe it was just presented in a little more powerful way than I thought about it before. You know, Tim was just talking about, horrible things that happen to people and how people dismiss them. I mean,
Well,
What kind of legs is that?
I mean,
Weak argument.
so look, I literally, I'm on the fence. Tim went, and again, bless your soul for not delving into. I mean, as terrible as that man's, the criminal assault that he suffered. You could have picked so many other things, and you pointed that out right at the very beginning. So, thank you for not doing that. But the idea that people can just, just sort of wave their hand at someone's other extreme misfortune, I was sitting there going, I don't know, how does John beat that? And John's presentation started off a little slowly, and I wasn't really feeling it. And then you're right, he got the whole Eastern philosophy thing. At first I'm like, I didn't bring my yoga mat today, but you kept going and really truly pointed out how insensitive, uncaring, inconsiderate, and I mean that from the I can't be bothered even dealing with this. And all of a sudden, it's like, oh my God, these two guys are trading punches in the middle of this round. This is a heavyweight fight now.
the thing that I had going in, when I just saw what Tim entered as his category, I could see how you can use that cliche in a way that's not terrible. When it is what it is just, to me, it's like John said, it's just a shrug of the shoulders. I win. Because of these 5 words.
I feel like both of you were swimming in the same direction in a similar stream. I do feel like there was this wave of the hand going on in both arguments, and and again the unwillingness to really consider what's actually happened here, and we should be forced to deal with it. In a more focused manner. Unfortunately, I think maybe what might give John the slightest of edges here was and you referenced this, the passion as you went further and deeper into your argument. And we've been seeing that lately from some of these recent episodes. People bring some force to the argument, and it's got this heft. It's pushing it over the edge. So I think this was maybe the tightest battle I've ever adjudicated. But Tim,
well, I just want to say Tim put in lots of enthusiasm into his argument too. So I could not say one over the other.
But
in that
I think if
department.
Tim had more balloons filled with soup and pudding, hot soup and pudding, I think.
Unwisely
I think that's
edited
what
those out.
spilled out of that
that's where I
man's abdomen after he was stabbed, actually. But
he just had the
That's
hot
not really
the
very
hot
funny.
soup balloons, and where does that get you?
The hand burns.
You gotta have the pudding.
Gotta have the pudding in there.
So are we going to say to Tim, I'm sorry, but it is what it is?
Yes, it is what it is.
Sorry,
Hey, guys.
It happened
sorry.
for a reason.
It did. It did. You've changed my mind.
Tim, I am sorry. This was not an easy decision. You did a
It's
great
all right.
job.
It was
Thank
wonderful.
you.
It was
Oh my
wonderful.
gosh.
Truly, I was worried.
All right, so we're in agreement. Then moving on to the next
think
round
so.
will be John Dorset.
right.
Is what it is.
Thank you very much. So it'll be after our beautiful musical sojourn. It'll be Scott and I. We'll see you in a second.
Amen.
Let's go on with the exciting third portion of our worstest.
Here we
Scott,
go.
it is you and I hate when this happens. I care for you so much.
Friend against friend.
No, it's
Somebody's got to be the loser.
That's right.
Someone's got to walk away with a big boot mark.
Wait, I didn't sign up for that.
Oh, you did, though. Look at this. Bernie Madoff taught me how to do this. Anyway, here we go. Scott, give us your part 2 to your worstest cliche.
So, as I mentioned earlier, there are a couple of really interesting things that wouldn't have made my first round presentation so tight. So I've got a collection of interesting things I want to present before I make one final point that I think hinted at something my fine co-host Tim had said earlier. So I'm looking at this interesting chart when I was looking up my lottery statistics. And from all places, lendingtree.com. And it lists the per capita spending in 2023 on lottery tickets. Very interesting. First off, I did not know that there are some states that don't have lottery.
Utah, I would assume.
Nevada, I guess because that would, like horn in on the other legalized gambling. Alabama, perhaps no surprise there. Hawaii and Alaska, they don't mess with that.
That's
apparently.
interesting.
Yeah. But this was very interesting. Massachusetts leads the country with per capita spending on lottery tickets, $915 a year
Per person?
per capita.
Wow.
Per capita. So per capita.
Yeah, right, per person.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Okay.
It's also, though, one of the...
Stupidest states?
Oh, no. Not by a long shot.
We'll get to that.
Yeah. No, I think Massachusetts is pretty high up there in
it's
intelligence.
expensive.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Incredibly expensive, but also high capita. So just maybe more people have more money
Perhaps I don't have an explanation for it, but I thought that was very interesting. I want to say that the next closest state was Vermont, and they were on 500, so almost double that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's wild. Don't people play the lottery to win tons of money so they can just move to Vermont and do nothing the rest of their life? You're already in Vermont.
Maybe they've used up a lot of those funds, Tim, and they
maybe.
need to restock.
Yeah,
That's
maybe.
true.
Is it actually like 2 people in Massachusetts who just play like $500 million each?
Well, that's a statistic, and I don't know exactly what it is. But I remember reading a while back about the lottery. 50% of the lottery tickets sold are sold to like 10% of the population.
Yeah.
It's something like
Yeah.
that.
The people who just play it all the time.
There is a core. And I
Right.
mean, you go into a stationery store, you go into some liquor stores, and there is a line of people. In the town I used to live in, there was a place where I would buy the lottery ticket. When it got big or whatever, you buy it, or you pool at work,
Yeah.
and everybody's
Yeah.
going to chip in.
Right.
And I'd go in, and there would be a line of 8 and 9 older people usually, and just scratching tickets off all day long.
The worst is when you get in a line and you're behind one of the people who play like the games where you can pick like certain numbers. And
Yes.
I want 4, 1, 3, 5, and then I want 5, 3, 1, 4, and then then twice 4, 1.
And can I box the first two,
Yeah,
and then a
right.
quinella on the second, and then can I get a double reverse box on the fourth, not including the one that starts with a 3, because that's my daughter's lucky number.
I have to jump in here with a quick story. I live on Long Island, so there's a 7-Eleven close by, and I ran in there just to grab some milk. It was on a holiday, it was the closest place to go. There was this person in front of me. She had a $100 bill, and she was breaking it to spend it all on scratch-offs. And it was exactly like that, Pete. All right, so, give me $27 of the this, and then I gotta have the $10 ones over there. I only want 2 of those, and then can I have the crossing guard scratch off? And I'm
Santa's chimney. Can I get 27 Santa chimneys?
exactly. And as it's going, I'm starting to effing seethe, and I came so close to saying to this lady, give me that $100 bill and I'll just fucking burn it in front of you, okay? But I didn't.
Scott, some might call that lactose intolerance.
Very, very witty, sir.
Dorsic out.
Oh, I see the sherry's taking effect.
It really is. I think the second lot of $100 bills we were burning really is bringing some sort of Christmassy cheer to this place.
So just to wrap up with the chart, apparently North Dakota, they spend the least per capita, $50, and I think that's because they're all just frozen in place most of the year and they can't get anywhere.
True.
Yeah.
So
The prairie dogs ate them.
I skipped a couple of Barnum things, so let me just bring up one. Another Barnum's hoax, which was alluded to earlier by my component, John. The Fiji...
Opponent?
Did I say component?
You did.
I did not.
Look at me.
My opponent.
Now I want to be your component.
The
I
Fiji...
want to be your kickstand assembly.
So another Barnum hoax, the Fiji mermaid. John, you referenced it earlier.
I love the Fiji mermaid.
This exhibition at P.T. Barnum's New York Museum was of the body of a mermaid supposedly caught near the Fiji Islands. It generated enormous excitement. Huge crowds waited to see it, lured by ads showing a beautiful and bare-breasted creature. Well, no wonder the crowds turned out. But what they found inside was a small, hideous creature that was actually the head of an ape stitched onto the body of a fish.
Sounds like my prom night. I felt the same way. Sailors used to make Fiji mermaids. Well, you'd be catching stuff and you'd take like a dried tail of a cod and the head of a shrimp and once
And an
again,
empty rum bottle.
Yeah, exactly. And you'd when you got to port, you'd sell these like Fiji mermaids. Yeah.
Wondrous.
We need to get back to tradition like that.
That's right.
But here's the truth. There are daily attempts to make suckers of us all. Dear listeners, the con game remains strong. Did any of you receive an unusual message or text recently? Have you forgotten to pay your late Easy Pass fines like me? Do you owe the IRS back taxes? And if you don't pay it right now, they're going to send agents out to your house to collect you for interrogation.
That's me.
Are you on your smartphone in Looneyville, Texas, chatting with a sweet young lady in Bhutan who likes the same music that you do and would love to get to know you better, but she's 9,100 miles away and is asking if you would send funds for the 26-plus hour plane ride?
She loves me for me.
That's right, John. This stuff is everywhere, and it's all of the time. Tim, you touched upon this, and thank you so much for bringing it up. All of this says something so unkind about humanity and the human species. We're upon the end of the year holiday season here in America, a magical time for sure. A time where hopefully all of us are hearing the call of our better angels. And I love this time of year for the hope that it calls to. As I've mentioned before, I find kindness attractive. We may argue that this cliche speaks to the lesser in many of us, but it is rude and certainly unkind. The sensitive and not at all overbearing lead singer of the Smiths, Morrissey, pointed out in his lyrics for the song I Know It's Over. He sang, "It's so easy to laugh, it's so easy to hate, it takes strength to be gentle and kind," and I agree with him. And perhaps that's why people remember this cliche. It makes us feel good about those we look down upon. Well, I, for one, am not going to submit. Do you hear me, you jerks? That's it.
All right.
I was wondering why you banned hot dogs from Worstest Mansion, and now I know it's your love of Morrissey.
That's right. He will not listen to this because we talked about bison hump meat.
That's true.
He did.
And
He turned it off at that point.
Oh, 100%. He's not even here. Maybe he is.
He missed your great presentation, Tim.
Well, that's okay.
By the way, P.T. Barnum was doing an exposition of who God knows what. It was going very well, and it was in some, circus tent or something, and people were piling in, and he couldn't get them to fucking leave. So he couldn't make more money because the tent was full. So he came up with this idea to make up a giant sign that said "The Grand Egress."
Yep.
Oh, yes, I read about
And
this.
pointed to the exit, and everybody's like, "The Grand Egress," and they started leaving.
I think that's a bird.
And some of them then, because they really weren't finished viewing, paid again to go back in.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God, that's amazing. But I think that's what I want on my gravestone.
To the Grand Egress.
I
Grand
think I
Egress.
want that to be my epitaph. Nice work. Excellent. Well done, Scott.
Thank you, sirs.
I
Thank you,
think
sirs.
Tim and I, with all due respect to Pete, we did say that we wanted to hear Scott's second half, and I think that was certainly worth the wait.
Well, thank you.
Well
Appreciate
done,
the
well
feedback.
done. Yes, and any mention of Morrissey is, especially the Smiths, is always delightful. For now, so I talked in my "It Is What It Is." I talked a lot about it is what it is and the problems with it is what it is in conjecture, in a lab, so to speak, removed from the real world. But in my presentation, I did talk about how Twitter is filled with "it is what it isms." Here are some real-life examples. A young fellow, I'm not going to say his name, who...
Does it rhyme with car sick?
Well done, Pete. Well done.
Done well, done well. So this young fellow, he's evidently in a graduate school. And he tweets this: "Has a test tomorrow. Freshman year me. I need to pull an all-nighter and cram for this test ASAP. Underclassman me. If I don't know it by now, I just don't know it. It is what it is." Quote unquote, goes to sleep. There it is in real life. This is a Donald Trump quote from 2018. "It is a complex issue. It's a shame, but it is what it is." Rob Gronkowski, he tweets, "I mean, it's a tough one to figure out, but it is what it is. We worked hard all week to have a different outcome. We've just got to keep on grinding." Manchester City tweeted out, "They played better. Congratulations, Chelsea. We played outstanding in the first half. That is football. At this level, it is what it is."
I could see some Premier League fans being very annoyed at that.
Very, very
Tossing off
annoyed.
that comment. What a tosser!
Another sports one where we see this a lot, actually. Were you expecting a penalty on that hit? Alvin Kamara, did one come out? Reporter, no. Kamara, it is what it is. It don't matter what I was expecting. And then just to top this off with the furthest it can go and possibly the most nefarious version of it. This is evidently, well, I'm going to read what this first person said and then
The response.
the response to it. The first person says, I'll read the whole thing. Yep, never said you didn't have a right to your opinion, Michael. I just vehemently disagree with it. Also, I respect that you attempted to preserve what was left of Carson's legacy because his legacy will be very different now, upholding a white supremacist who used him. And this person responds, well, politics changes people. So it is what it is. And I think that best surmises the darker places where it is what it is lives. Just making a justification and a forgiveness for a white supremacist by, well, politics change that person. It is what it is. And I'll leave you with that.
Wow.
So we're going to air clap because I don't want to clap after that last comment.
Oh, I'll give you this last one. Some guy, Mikea, just writes, it is what it is, asterisk, shrugs.
Okay, I can clap for
Okay,
that.
good. Yeah. I wasn't going to use that, but
That was brilliant.
I need my
That was
applause.
like a little piece
My
of
God,
really-
how did he think of
that
that?
was like a little piece of ginger. It cleansed my palate. Thank you, John.
You're very, very welcome.
Well, we get to sit back now, don't we?
We really do.
And Tim and I put our heads together.
Yeah, tough one, Pete.
It is a tough one.
Oh boy, what are your thoughts?
Well, Scott, you didn't reiterate what was the cliche that you were.
Oh, I apologize. So, yes, there's a sucker born every minute.
There's a sucker born every minute. So there's a sucker born every minute, and it is what it is. I think the problem that I had with Scott's presentation is he was kind of leaning into the appropriateness of it.
Yeah.
Of there's a sucker born every minute.
People are foolish. People do flush their money down the toilet.
right.
Yeah.
And
All
and
true.
They,
All true.
they do believe ridiculous lies
yes.
because they want to and they're not discerning.
Right.
Yeah, it's hard. It's a loathsome expression, but there is some truth to it that people will fall for just about anything. It seems.
Even though one of the quotes that I heard John say, I could see. Still, there were many more that he said that are just unbearable. Really, it's such a terrible expression.
Yeah, I got to be honest. Coming into this, I didn't think I would ever vote for Johns. I thought, well, what's wrong with it? Is what it is. It's kind of a
Right.
funny expression,
Right,
but the
right.
way he laid out his
Because
case,
I hate him.
Yeah, it's.
Well, there's that too.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think John had a very strong presentation. They both did, but
They
John's
did. It
delivered
was
that
good.
with fiery passion and really sold it.
He
And,
really did.
Yeah, I'll never hear that expression again. The same
And
way.
what else can we say? But his championship is the championship.
It's earned.
It is.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Nice job, John.
That is. It is clearly the worst.
Well done, sir.
Cliche
Thank you.
of them all.
Thank you very much. So, without further ado, delay. No, we need to delay and then we'll ado a little bit later.
Let's delay the ado.
Let's delay the ado. I'm enjoying this very much. Very, very much. Really quickly, let me just thank you so much for listening and making your way to the very end of this. You know what you can do to help us, especially let us curl up with the algorithms that will feed us like the sweet wolf teat of Romulus and Remus. I almost made Scott spit.
How did you not miss the opportunity to once again bring up the bison hump meat, the deliciousness of the bison hump meat?
Because, Scott,
You had teats on your mind, didn't you?
well, no, well, yes, but it's also because I realize that the dwindling herds of bison in our grand, beautiful plains,
Shouldn't be trivial.
it shouldn't be trivialized.
Yeah.
And I will not eat the delicious hump meat of the bison because I believe that those dwindling numbers of bison should be a job that we take seriously to bring them back to their former glorious numbers, and their hopeful eventual extinction isn't just what it is.
The preceding announcement brought to you by American Bison Owners Incorporated.
Try the hump meat. It's delicious. You know what's coming next, but we really appreciate it if you do the things we beg and ask of you so the algorithms work for us. Interesting. So on Spotify, it says other podcasts like this, and there is none. There's none listed, which one side of me says, look at that. We've created a truly different and unique thing. The other side of me says the algorithm is going to make us only be listened to by a couple hundred people. And that's sad. So what you can do at home is, or wherever you might be.
Put them up on a museum wall.
Yeah. Scott's showing us right now.
Wow.
So what you can do to help us, the only thing that can help us is you like, sharing, subscribing, like wherever you can. Share not only around, but share links to episodes that you like. That's always wonderful. And of course, subscribe to whatever we do or wherever you listen. And once again, the one little extra step, if you can rate us and leave a review, that would be fantastic. And of course, rate us 5 stars no matter what, because that really helps us. And if you have something critical to say, please say it. Let us know. We are always trying to make this podcast better, and anything that you tell us will help us do that. And now, let us, without further delay, give us a little bestest. Who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Hit us, Pete.
Just this last weekend, my lovely wife and I went into New York City, and we went to the Underwater Sunshine Festival, as it were, which is a little, little music festival, and it's actually hosted by Adam Duritz, and was pretty cool. He was like 3 feet away from us.
Counting Crows, right?
Pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was cool, and a few bands were there, and it's just unbelievable. Like one guy was in the band that went on last, and then they needed somebody to cover another open spot, and he was like, "Okay, I'll do it." And he played another set solo, just him on the guitar, and he's like a dynamite guitar player, and his voice is like heavenly, and it's just you're just scratching your head saying, like, what does it take to be,
To be that good, huh?
To be like a star, and like this guy has got everything he needs. Anyway, it was just a wonderful time. And
Is it touring, this festival? Or
No, they only do it. I think they do it just once a year in New York City.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, lucky you.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Oh, very cool.
Had a great time.
Did you mention the name of the player?
I don't remember. His last name is Dunn. The Fantastic Cats, I think, was the band that he's in.
Well, Daddy-O, that sounds great. Yeah, we'll hashtag that on the episode.
Rock and roll.
Scott, what do you got?
So my bestest might sound a little pedestrian, but yesterday I
Did you have a nice cup of coleslaw?
No, but you're in the right vein.
Oh.
I try to cook a lot on the weekend. Give my wife a bit of a break, and I do find it peaceful and enjoyable when I've got the kitchen to myself. That is important, and I'm just making something. Things are going well. I got my music on. Maybe a little dram of something to put me in a good mood. And I made my version. Been using the same recipe to make chicken marsala with mushrooms, put it over noodles. It was just phenomenal. And I'm simple pleasures. I'm looking in my oven at these perfectly cooked cutlets, and I'm like, damn, I can't wait to eat. So it was silly, but it was great. Great way to end the weekend.
Sounds delicious.
It was.
They say that when you cook, the greatest cooks cook with love. So you were cooking with self-love. And now I don't feel bad that I wasn't invited, because I don't want that.
Nobody wants that, John.
Sounded like an old Eric Bogosian skit I heard. He was like, some guy sitting around. He's like, "Oh man, I'm telling you, I got this ruffled potato chip, this sour cream and onion dip, an ice cold Budweiser. Doesn't get any better than this."
Yeah, I remember that. Isn't that from Sex, Drugs,
think,
and Rock and Roll, I think.
Yes, I think
Yeah.
so. Yep.
Oh my God, it's so good. Yeah, if anyone's out there, like, people don't talk about him anymore. Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll was one of the greatest. One person.
Is he still around?
I think he is. Yeah, I think he's still alive.
What's he doing?
I don't know, man.
Is he one of those people in Vermont just living off their winnings or
Yeah,
something?
right.
I don't understand.
Could be. Maybe he's in Nebraska trying to earn some.
He used to be everywhere, and now nada, nothing.
I met him
Zilch.
twice.
Is that why he ran away?
Could be.
Plays $1 million a lottery every year.
If only I had worn pants when I met him,
Oh, darn it.
he might still be here.
Why can you never remember that?
Remember it. Horrible. Pants. They were invented by women to keep us down. Tim, what do you got?
All 4 of my kids are home.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, 2 of them came back from college, so looking forward to a nice Thanksgiving with the whole family home.
That's awesome.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
That's awesome. Sounds
Very
great.
nice. I'm gonna be old Gen Z. I was telling you guys before. I am in a band. We're playing on Wednesday. This won't be out by then, so I'm not even going to talk about it. But I'm in a band called Maxine Van Date on Long Island. Check it out on the Instagram and TikTok. But we did the Whitney Houston snare hit challenge. If you don't know it, I'm not going to explain it. If you do know it, you know it. And if you want to know it, look it up. It's pretty big. And band members try to hit the snare when the snare hits in Whitney Houston's I Will Always Love You. And the 5 of us, we attempted it, and only one person in that band actually did it.
And who was that?
That person, Scott. It's a good thing you're sitting down
And
for
did,
this.
did that person have a musical degree of any sort?
No, everyone else did, but I think everyone else does except for me, who did it. And I actually,
And you won today.
I won today. Everything's coming up Dorsick.
Whoa.
And on that note, wow, Christmas is right around the corner, and I've already gotten all the best gifts I could possibly want. Anyway, thank you so much, everybody. This is absolutely wonderful. What a great show this was.
Good one.
This is
Very
a great
good one.
episode. Thank you for
You
tuning in.
always say that when you win.
That is true. I've only said that twice. Thank you so much for listening. This is an absolute pip, as the kids say. And now that you know that the worst cliche ever is, it is what it is, you can now go off and try your hardest never to say that fucking thing again. Good night, everybody.
Now, don't forget,
Oh.
for all our Patreon listeners,
Oh, that's right.
we do have a little upcoming feature.
If you want to hear the last 2 remaining parts of the 2 folks who didn't make it into the second half, well, go onto our Patreon and you can hear it now for just a small amount of money. We haven't decided what it's going to be yet, but it won't be too much. Certainly, there'll still be enough for you to buy lottery tickets. See you over on the Patreon, you crazy kids.
But you can't pay with pennies anymore.
No. Well, you couldn't pay Patreon with pennies anyway. We deserve more than that. Tim and I have to go watch the fireplace, after all. Good night, you beautiful kids. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
See you all.